Oh, do I have a treat for you this week? This deck box cost $1.99. The sleeves I used cost less than £2 as well. This is because this is the deck I built for an event in my local game store, Bad Wolf. Link in the description to their website, not a sponsor, I just like them. Recently ran. Basically, the goal was to build a commander deck meeting certain requirements. It had to be less than £100. No card could cost more than £2. And the commander had to cost less than £1. That was done by an app called Mana Box, that is actually extremely useful. Good job, friend of the channel Marcy, for finding this one. Prices were done using TCG Player Market Average. We've now switched to Card Market Average for all in-store pricing, as is sort of the norm, as we are in Europe. And hello, Evie. She's here to help. Twice in a row now. Anyway. So, my actual mono black deck is called Vampire Money. And I built it basically starting with the name. I found a vampire that cared about treasure tokens. And went backwards from there. Because, you know, pills don't help, but they sure taste funny. Gimme some of that vampire money. This time, well, you saw it in the title card. But for anyone who wasn't paying attention, just want to see what the fuck this is. Here's the commander, singular. I know he has partner. I just didn't see any particular need to. So, Francisco the Fowl Marauder, for 1 in the black, is a bird pirate. He has flying, he can't block. Whenever one or more pirates I control deal damage to a player, he explores. You'll note that he is 0-1, meaning that he cannot proc his own ability. In the second round of this event, I swung at someone for 0 3 times. just because I may as well. Now, Francisco is colloquially known around the store as the Little Black Cock, which is why he is in a regular sleeve, an inner sleeve, and a penny sleeve, because it's very, very important to use protection for your cock. Anyway. The rest of the deck is also in penny sleeves. You'll note that the sleeves and the deck box all conformed to the less than £2 per card rule. I also set up a side contest with the prize being 3 packs of whatever those two I have in stock over in Modern Horizons 3. Ended up being Call of Mana for the best deck box under £2. I'm not sure if I have a photo of it currently, but the... Oh, hello, Evie. The winner there was friend of the channel Marcy, who modified a milk carton into a deck box and also removed the L in the K. So it was a me carton, and her commander was me the Immortal. If I can get a photo of her deck box in time, I'll have that on screen now as well, because that's just fucking genius. So, anyway. The rest of the deck, which I can see is in penny sleeves. Which don't shuffle as fast as you'd expect. It's weird. Like, in that one shuffle up and play with 1 more mana, where Hab is using penny sleeves, yeah, they're better than you'd think. They're genuinely better than gloss sleeves. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, Viridian Longbow. You may recall this from my actual pirate deck. Link up there. Quick Creature has tap seal 1 damage to any target, meaning that even as 0-1, Francisco can still ping for 1 and explore, and potentially get a 1-1 counter. It's not guaranteed. I've had games where he explored 3 or 4 times and just kept hitting lands. Anyway, Criminal Past. Commander creatures I own have Menace, which is useful for getting damage through, as the commander damage deck. And this creature gets +X/+0, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Didn't super help me there. I got this at once, and I had 1 creature card in graveyard. So, onto the dedicated proliferate stuff, which is also kind of removal. We have Dragon Eye Court, target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn, proliferate. Decent removal piece. Whisper of the Dross, same thing but instant speed, neg1. This would almost have won me the game in round 1 of this event. On now to the Pirates, the more traditional way of proccing Francisco. We have Dire Fleet Ravager, ETB, each player loses a third of their life rounded up. Ruthless Knave, 3 mana and sack a creature for 2 treasures. Sack 3 treasures for card draw. Greedy Freebooter, when it dies I strike 1 and get a treasure. Direfleet Interloper. ETB, it explores. Skeleton Crew, one of the actual useful ones. Arthur is trying to bite the entire deck. So, choose... Sir, pick your battles, sir. You can't eat all of it at once. So, Skeleton Crew. Each other creature controls a skeleton or pyre and gets +1/+1. Also means that Francisco can deal damage. And when one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black skeleton pirate. This ability triggered only from the battlefield, and this can return itself to the graveyard from the battlefield, which is handy. Whoop. Yeah, Penny Sleeves, they will kind of stick like that. Let's see if I can... oh, there we go. Anyway. Tomb Robber. Ditch 1 to explore. It has Menace. Fathom Fleet Captain. When it attacks, I can pay 2 to get a pirate token. More odds of getting damage through, or damage through to more than one player. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. Arthur, you can't eat the deck. Please, sir. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, ETB, destroy target creature and opponent controls that will deal damage this turn. Would be a lot more useful if it had Flash. It doesn't. It's now a 4-mana 3/3 that can deal something if you have already damaged it. Which is easier said than done for the most part. Direfleet Poisoner. Actual useful one, 2 mana 2/2, Flash Death Touch. ETB, target attacking pirate you control gets +1/+1 and gains Death Touch. It can be used as an attacker or a blocker, very versatile we like. Castle Freebooter, it has flying, and it can exile a thing from someone's hands. Not especially useful, but hand knowledge, eh. I mean, it's a budget event, no one's going to have anything groundbreaking. I say that I wasn't quite a powerful pod, we'll get there. Forerunner of the Coalition, it chooses the pirate on ETB. Direfleet Hoarder. I don't know what you're doing there, Arthur, but I don't trust it. Direfleet Hoarder. When it dies, I get a treasure token. Not bad, I guess. Whoop. Arthur is being possessive over the rest of the deck. We can't have that. Deadeye Tracker. Exile 2 cards from opponent's graveyard, and it can explore. Deadeye Tormentor. ETB. If you attack the creature this turn, target opponent discards a card. This almost never came up because I needed this on board so that I could attack, or so that I could do things elsewhere. We now have ways of giving Francisco unblockable. As this is a commander damage deck and you want commander damage to get through. The main one is Fear. We'll get to this in a moment. This video is also like a mini recap of the event, so we will cover the scary black cock when we get there. Ebony Charm is an unreliable way of doing it. Target creature can't block this turn except by other effect of black creatures. 1 mana instant, target creature gains fear till end of turn, basically. It's fine. Bessie the Doctor's Roadster. It can give a legendary creature unblockable. Francisco is a legendary creature. Never grew into it. Aphotic Wisps, fear until end of turn, also draw a card. Not bad, 1 mana replaces itself. We like. Executioner's Hood. Gives it Intimidate, which in a mono black deck is effectively fear. My absolute favourite card in Magic. Hot Soup, my beloved. When I eventually cover my Ginger deck, there's one of these in there as well. It is 100% of the time my target for Urza's Saga. Are there better targets in the deck? Yes. Are those targets soup? No. Anyway, Hot Soup. A quick creature can't be blocked. Whenever a quick creature is dealt damage, destroy it. Equip 3. Coming through. Now, look at this artwork here and tell me this isn't a beautifully flavourful card. What you have here is a bunch of goblins on the battlefield, and a goblin caterer with a large cauldron full of hot soup. No one wants to get in the way of a guy running around with hot soup, so it can't be blocked. But if you're taking damage, you trip over, you spill hot soup on yourself. That's it, it's game over for you. Perfectly flavourful card. I love it. Manifold Key. Much more staple one. 3 mana untap, target creature can't block this turn. The untap thing doesn't really come into play. I guess it can give you an extra 1 mana from Sol Ring, but who cares? Tominous Scarabs. Because we're on to the rest of the deck now. The Curses. Now, I built the deck this way So I call it Pirates of the Caribbean, the Curse of the Black Cock. Because it's mono black pirates and curses. Top end is Scarrows. Beginning of enchant players upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So basically they just lose 3 life every turn unless they're in a go-wide token deck. So the trick is to hit the Voltron deck with this. They don't like it when you do that. Grasping Scoundrel, which I put into the wrong pile. It's a pirate that gets slightly bigger when it's attacking. It's fine. Trespasser's Curse. Trespasser's Curse can shut down go-wide decks utterly. It's basically an Uno reverse Impact Tremors. Like, no, you take 1 damage, and I also gain 1 life, so, you know, good fucking luck. Curse of Thirst is a very fun one. Deals damage to that player equal to number of curses on them. Not super enough curses in respect to get a ton of value from it. I'm running, like, every mono black curse that I could, apart from Curse of Leeches, because I don't want to fuck with day-night mechanics. Anyway, Cruel Reality. Beginning of enchant players upkeep, they have to sack a creature or planeswalker, or lose 5 life. It's 7 mana, but quite good for that. Curse of Wizardry. Player casts a spell of a chosen colour, lose 1 life. Stick this on someone playing mono, they are screwed. Curse of Misfortunes lets you tutor up a curse every turn. Extremely useful. The one time I played it, it was countered, but who cares? Curse of Oblivion. Lose 2 cards from graveyard every turn. I managed to get this on the mono blue Talaran player, friend of the channel Maya, in a pre-event game, which did slow her down. It did force her to cast Treasure Cruise for its full cost at one point, which was very funny to see. Curse of Death's Hold. Creatures enchanted player controls get neg 1, neg 1. If you get this onto someone that's doing go-wide tokens, it basically means that they can't do go-wide tokens until they hit removal. Like, Brandon, one of the other regulars, was playing a Krenko deck that goes infinite or large finite. It's by being able to untap Krenko. His regular Krenko deck is even more dangerous because that can run Thornlight Staff and Ashnod's Altar. So basically, you tap Krenko, you get a Goblin. You sack that Goblin to Ashnod's, Krenko untaps. As long as you have 2 Goblins already, that means you have enough Goblins to infinitely create Goblins. Anyway. Yeah, Curse of Death's Hold means that all the Goblins just enter with neg 1, neg 1 and just immediately die. Quite handy. Curse of Disturbance. Whenever an enchanted player is attacked, I create a 2/2 black zombie. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. Curse of Shallow Graves. Same thing, but only the attacking player gets one. These are from different sets, same CMC. One of them is clearly better than the other. Cursed Land, not a curse. It's honorary, but it's in here because of the name. Cursed Land deals 1 damage to target land's controller during his or her upkeep. Enchant land. We love weird old jank like that. A Cursed Witch. Let me go into the deck box real quick for that one. There's 2 cards in here. At the back, there is a Cursed Witch. Spells your opponents target a Cursed Witch costs 1 less. When it dies, it returns to the battlefield as Infectious Curse. Spells that target an enchanted player cost 1 less to cast. And at the beginning of their upkeep, they lose 1 life, I gain 1 life. It's quite good. Note as well the gorgeous artwork. Identical. My artistic talent knows no bounds. Anyway. Black Market, a card that I can't fucking believe is less than £2. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add black mana for each charge counter on Black Market. Absolutely wild. Arcane Signet. 1 mana, taps 1 mana of any colour. You know what it does. Soul Rend, you know what it does. Sadbot. Sadbot was a last minute addition to the deck, as previously its spot was occupied by Curse of Restless Dead. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Now, this has spiked up to over £2 since the deck was built. I checked the morning of, realised that this is too expensive, and I had a spare Sadbot, threw that in. I'm assuming this Bird Wizard has something to do with it. Anyway, I have Sadbot. Now onto the interaction suite. Overwhelming Forces. Draw creatures target opponent controls. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Pretty useful. Now I draw into it. Crushing Disappointment. Each player loses 2 life, you draw 2 cards. Crushing Disappointment would have been the name of this deck, were it not if it didn't have a bent name already. Read the Bones, strike 2, draw 2, lose 2. It's a staple. Infectious Inquiry, draw 2, lose 2, each opponent gets a poison counter. Wretched Confluence. I like the Confluence cycle as just budget cards that do something useful. Plus, I believe I use Wretched Confluence and Glitter once to win a game, so... Anyway. 3 modes, choose the same one once. Target player draws a card, loses 1. Target creature gets an -2 and -2 on a turn. Return target creature card from your to hand, so it's basically 5 mana. Get 3 creatures back from bin. Draw 3, lose 3. Destroy a creature. Or, target the same creature 3 times to just kill someone. Anyway. Point of discussion, draw 2, lose 2, blood token. Blood money, another one that is useful, is in the price range. Destroy all creatures. For each non-token creature destroyed this way, you create a tapped treasure token. I might put that in Garfield. It'll make sense, right? Cradle to Grave, one of the many cards that got people to go, what the hell is this? Destroy target non-black creature that came into play this turn. It's so specific. It's nearly useless. But it's instant speed, so it's not terrible. Fiend Swarm, destroy target creature or enchantment opponent controls, lose life equal to its mana value. Classic bit of removal. Defenestrate. Look, if I have an excuse to run Defenestrate, I will. Just for the name alone. The chaplain would perhaps have found some small comfort had known the replacement window would be named in his honour. Good for him. Assassin's Ink. Costs 1 less to cast or control an artifact, 1 less to cast or control an enchantment. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. It's not bad. Well, it's not good, but you know. Deathstroke. Destroy target tapped creature. Only it's sorcerer speed, which isn't great. Bone Shards won me the game. Actually got some value out of. We'll get there in a moment. Mandate of Abaddon. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. Very good if you're a mono black Voltron. It basically means that you can destroy everything that isn't your commander 90% of the time. Their downfall. Destroy target creatures. Control loses 2 life. Plague Wind. Destroy all creatures you don't control. They can't be regenerated. For 7 and 2 black. In Garrick's Wake. The same thing, but they can be regenerated and it hits planeswalkers for the same price. I like redundancy. Bone Splinters. Another one that I got some mad value out of. I'll get there in a moment. Blood Curdle. Destroy target creature. Put a menace counter on a creature you control. That's the last of the removal suite. We now have Vat of Rebirth, which is just miscellaneous useful one in case I need to get pirates back. Non-basic lands then, we have Bajuka Bog, a classic one. Leech-Ridden Swamp can slowly drain your opponents, which isn't terrible, but I have no plans to run it elsewhere. I just want to see what it was like. Khan's Bastion, which is going into another deck. We'll get to what I've got planned for this deck in a moment. Witch's Cottage enters tapped, unless control 3 or more swamps. But when it enters untapped, you can put target creature card from your bin on top of your library. Another nice bit of recursion. Escape Tunnel. Basically, it's a way of making Francisco unblockable in the early game, or fetching a land. It's not bad. Demolition Field. I wanted some kind of non-basic land removal in case anyone brought some weirdly powerful land. Never came up in the end. Access Tunnel. Another one that can get Francisco through in the early game. Rogue's Passage. More expensive. You can get them through whenever. Memorial to Folly. I'm probably going to move this one actually into Vampire Money, because it's genuinely decent. 3 mana and sack, return target creature card from graveyard to hand. The cost of rendering tap, not bad. And then an indeterminate number of swamps. So, now for context here, every single game I played with this, before the tournament, I lost terribly. I was at no point ever the threat. In fact, throughout the tournament, I was not the threat either, because round 1, I was in a pod with Prosh, Finn the Fangbearer, hang on, it was Finn was here, Lightpaw's here, Prosh here, and me here. Now, all 3 of those commanders are kind of powerhouses. It was Friend the Channel Toro running Prosh. The deck list is called Bloom's Tower Defense as well, I kind of love that. Friend the Channel Emily in Lightpaws. I recently asked her advice on some of the bits and pieces from her deck for what this is going to become. We'll get there when we get there. And Connor, who I hadn't previously played against, but it was a very strong opponent with Finn. So, what happened was, it was kind of a clash of the titans, because you had powerful warrior with an axe that poisons anything it kills. You had politically influential furry, and you had dragon with an army/lunchbox full of kobolds. And I had a chicken. Anyway, relatively early in the game, I managed to get a counter on Francisco, and I managed to get fear on him, which we're like, what the hell does that card do? No one has seen it before, and unsurprisingly, it gives enchanted creature fear. So, Francisco now has fear, it can't be blocked. No one cared at that point, as it was doing chip damage. So what happened was, bearing in mind the rest of the table was all collectively in Jund, I believe, green, black, red. Light Paws managed to get protection from all three of our colours on it, in the form of tutored enchantments, which was a problem. It was also a 22. It was also a 22 whatever by that point, so it was a one-hit kill. By the time that happened, Finn the Fangbearer already dead. I'm like, right, okay. I drew in 2. Alright, it wasn't either of these, but it was one of my enchantment removal pieces. So I was able to use that to blow up the enchantment that was giving it protection from Rakdos, basically, black and red. I was hoping that Tora would have some way of dealing with it. She did not. I broke the deal with Emily, to kill me last. On the grounds that I was the least threatening. What I then did was top deck Bone Shards. Light Paws no longer have protection from black. Boom! Light Paws is no more. So, I was then very slow. I also had Khan's Bastion out at this point, and she still had 7 poison counters from Finn. So I was slowly proliferating up, and basically embiggening the cock. And I reached the point where I realised that, yeah, I see the Khan's Bastion one more time, I can swing the game with commander damage. And incredibly, I won in that pod, which I had no right to do, as this deck is normally terrible. Anyway, round 2, I was up against James, a fairly recent regular at the store, and friend of the channel Maya, who's in her Talaran deck, which she requested I create a thumbnail for. Check it out. Anyway, yeah, Talaran fucking curb stomped us. It did not go well for us. But, making it to the winner's tale meant I did get a prize pack, which consisted of a promo pack. The only noteworthy pull was this lovely foil promo Fairy Mastermind, which I will definitely have useful. For making it to the winner's table, the other 2 cards in there I gave to James, as they were more useful to him than they were to me. I was given second choice of the promos, which is actually first choice. It was Expel Interlopers, Jade Light Spelunker, or Angel from Karlov. James has a mono-white Angel deck. I'll let him take the Angel. Of the other 2, I like Expel Interlopers more, so I picked that one. I also have the option of a pin. I already had both of them. I like to pass that on to the winner of the second place table, as, well, basically had a pod of 4, 2 pods of 3. At the end, the winners of the 3 individual pods face each other, second place each one face each other, and last and fourth, or basically third and fourth, had a 4-player game at the end. Anyway, Maya, with Talaran, just cracked in and killed us all with Drakes. Francisco was my only blocker, or Francisco's my only creature on board and couldn't block. And she had enough 10-10 Drakes to one-shot both of us and take it out simultaneously. So, future plans for this deck is to rebuild it largely entirely into Mardu curses, with these 2 as partner commanders, but keep Francisco in the 99, even though there is nothing capable of proccing him, and he cannot block. Why? Because he lives here. He was here first. This is his home. I was supposed to kick him out? What? Anyway, I'll include my current planned deck list for that in the description, just because I may as well. Hence why I was asking Emily's advice on stuff from her deck. Mono White Enchantment Voltron has some pretty good enchantment recursion, and seeing as they're in Mardu, I can get use out of the same stuff. Anyway, yeah, the event itself, really, really fun. Highly recommend doing something like it at your own local store. It's like... My deck cost £26. Well, it's worth £26, basically. It's worth fuck all. It's easy to get something together. Everyone's going to be running some level of jank, hopefully. I'll also point out, the Media Immortal deck, friend of the channel Marcy built, was built around cycling, which is incredible. That's just the way that she does deck building. Anyway, yeah, I will see you all next week when I take a look at an actual good deck, maybe my actual mono black deck. We'll see.